Hello, everybody. Happy weekend. Really looking forward to today's topic. We've chosen to take a look at the sort of vibrant energy of the saguaro cactus and the very perseverant, I should say, energy as well. This is a really cool time of year for them because they're starting to come back to life. And for all of us today, I want to be looking at areas where we can thrive in any situation, whether there's pressure because of success or anxiety because there might be a sort of lack of progress. Really great choice. And when we get into the channel messages, we'll break down why the saguaro is such a really cool totem to come through, and also how it's going to help us out today. Okay, so if you just joined, my name is Nicholas Ashbaugh, and we're going to be taking a look at the weekly collective reading. And the weekly collective reading is a 7-day forecast at the very beginning anyway. And there's a lot of different components, including the special topic, which I was just talking about. So let's kind of go through the overall organization of this. We'll begin with channeled messages, which come from Spirit. And today you helped me kind of pick what I was going to talk about. So I'll really do a deep dive into that totem, the cactus, and talk about that a little bit. We'll do a 7-day forecast, which will help you out for the next week, starting with today, Sunday, going all the way to next Sunday. We'll look at blessings and blocks, things to embrace, things to be mindful of. Then I break it down, and this is the only piece of it that will be sign specific, but we'll do an elemental forecast looking at fire, earth, air, and water. And then a little bit of interaction between all of us where we do a viewer's and reader's choice. The special topic, which I just talked about, how to thrive in any situation. And then we'll always wrap up everything with a meditation and a final card. And just if it's your first time here, many of you may not know this, but I don't answer questions during the flow of the reading. Instead, what I like to do is wait until that final card at the end, and you have a chance to meditate, and collectively I can look at the question and the answer for everybody. Okay, so that's the overarching organization today. Dakota is going to be our moderator for today, so he'll keep this room organized and a really nice, safe place and welcoming place for everybody. If you have any questions, high level, he can help you with that. A couple of quick notes before I begin the channel messages. If you would like to show some support, or if you are watching live and you want to chat, you need to be a subscriber. There's no cost, only benefits from it. Basically, you'll know when I post new videos, and you show some love and support for the channel. So it's free. If you can hit the subscribe button and you haven't done so in the past, do that. If you're already a subscriber, a quick way to show some love and support is just to like, hit the thumbs up. And if you never want to miss a video, click the bell icon. Another way to remember what's going on is to follow me on social media. I always use the story feature there, so you have a way of knowing what I'm going to be talking about in each and every reading and each and every day. And to show some love and support in real time, you can do super chats, super stickers, and memberships. I had a comment saying, people wish there was a way to just give once. That's actually what this is: super chat, super sticker, and then again, thanks. I do have a PayPal option on my website if you want to do that as well. Dakota can link my website. It's also in the pinned comment there as well, so you can just go there and find that if you like. And my live schedule is up, always is, on my website, and I went ahead and put the next 2 videos coming through for Aquarius and Pisces on Monday and Thursday, and a reminder that I'm doing a bonus reading this Friday since we had an extra day in the month. So I'll announce more about that as the week progresses. Okay, so that's everything in a nutshell. Let's begin with getting into the channel messages. Okay, I'm going to pull a real live cactus from my back porch here in just a second, but let me get the presentation set up. It's not a saguaro, it's just it's a Rebutia. It's a beautiful one that's in bloom. I just like to show how these sort of misunderstood plants have some amazing features in them, so we'll talk more in a second here. All right, let me get the presentation going. We have a single totem today. It was your choice, and it was a great one, so thank you for choosing the saguaro cactus. And that's what it looks like. It's the one with all the arms. And just for copyright reasons, I really don't show images from the web, but you can do a Google, and there's some beautiful pictures of that on the internet. All right, let's talk here. So this cactus has a pretty long lifespan. I would say, maybe not as much as some of the trees that might exist on the planet, but much longer than most typical plants. 150 to 175 years. To me, that's substantial. It thrives where other plants would wither and die, and it represents as a totem flexibility, adaptability, and longevity. So this is a lot of text. I'm just going to break it down and talk about why this is important. All right, so this cactus is used to extremes and it's used to massive changes. So most of the year there's not a lot of rain when you're in the desert, but there are monsoon seasons. There is sometimes an unexpected, rainstorm where there's a burst of water that comes through. Have you ever looked at a cactus and wondered, why does it have ribbing or those folds or those pleats on the side? If you live in a desert climate, you've probably noticed after a storm that the cactus swells. If you haven't, that's why it's there. So basically they can swell open to a certain degree. They can actually split open if there's too much water, but it allows them to basically expand and contract, which makes this the perfect symbol for flexibility. They look like they're rigid and they're spiny and they're stuck, but actually they can contract and expand. So that's one of the really cool things here. And I chose the World card because many of us, when we're given like this influx of opportunity or pressure or anything, sometimes we just freak out. It could be the Tower, but the cactus goes to the World. It's like, no, I'm going to grow right now. And if I need to, I'll push up an extra arm or something else so I can accept more water, right? So change happens quickly. This particular plant adapts quickly. And if you can be flexible like that, then you can grow in a situation that might otherwise, for other people, create stress, right? So I think that, it's really important for you to just have that flexibility. When a door opens, a door of opportunity, a window of opportunity, don't delay too much. You may think to yourself, I don't know if I can do this. I don't know if I have the patience, if I have the capacity, if I have the insight. Give yourself more credit. If something's coming through in your life, it is because the universe is thinking, hey, I think you're ready. Are you ready? There's always that question and there's always free will. Okay? So the next big thing that this totem teaches us is the importance of grounding. Fun fact, when you're looking at Saguaro in particular, it's mostly water. It can hold 6 tons of water, an adult one with, all of the different arms on it. It has support on the inside, though. There are these sort of woody spines. I think it's almost as many pleats as you see. There's that many spines on the inside. So, and I believe, I'll have to check, but I think this cactus might have a taproot as well. So long story short, this inner sort of support beam, if you will, is a reminder that in our lives, none of us are an island. You're not an island. It's okay to lean on others for assistance. By doing that, you can actually reach higher. And it's not a sign of weakness to accept help. So if someone offers help and you trust them and it's a genuine offer, why not accept it? Ground yourself fully also in what your purpose is in this moment in time. When we're kind of wishy-washy or going this way and that way, it's going to bring more of the energy of the Two of Pentacles. Like, what do we want? I've never really looked at it that way, but it can be indecision. 7 of Cups is normally where I would go for that, because sometimes you're just looking at all the options and you're frozen. So if you can ground yourself in a purpose, if you can lean on someone, it's going to make you steadier and more prepared for what's next. So this particular plant is the perfect totem to show us resource management. And the 6 of Pentacles is what I look for as the bare minimum for stability. Because with the 6 of Pentacles, you may not have everything you want, but you have more than enough to succeed. You have more than enough to prosper. And the key challenge with the 6 of Pentacles is understanding that I can't make everyone happy. I can't do everything that I want to do, but I can do everything that I need to do. So we'll talk about that. Those are the main sort of energies that I get from this, but here's some fun facts about cactus and sort of how it manages its resources. So did you ever wonder what the little prickly spines do, other than maybe keep creatures away, which is one, it is a defense mechanism. It actually also provides air circulation and a little bit of shade. Some cacti have a lot of spines, almost to the fact that it kind of looks like a fuzzy exterior, and that's to give it a little bit of shade in a really harsh environment. They have shallow roots because there's not a lot of rain and they need to absorb them. And need to absorb the water quicker and faster. So the root system goes out wide rather than deep. Usually, like I said, there can be a tap root, but the root system can be shallow. It has a thick, waxy skin, so it again, it doesn't, it's not as susceptible to the sunlight or to some of the insects. Another fun fact is it photosynthesizes during the day, but the exchange of the gases happens at night. So it has all these little openings where all of the spines are, and it opens up at night so that it doesn't evaporate as much, doesn't lose as much water. So it has all of these fine-tuned sort of evolutionary traits that may make it look a little bit prickly and odd, but it actually is like this finely tuned machine that continues to sort of excel. And the fact that there's several tons of water sitting in that thing in this hot desert, to me, it's amazing. And that is the epitome of the Six of Pentacles, which is, I'll do a little bit of this, a little bit of this, I'll take just enough of this. And I know it's basically knowing your limits, having boundaries, and evolving to fit the situation rather than trying to change the situation to fit you. So figuring out how to navigate and be flexible. Perfect metaphor for how to thrive in any situation. The main thing for this is we'll look at when we talk about its growth is it's all about a long distance run, not a sprint. The only time that this reacts quickly is when there's a lot of resources, namely water that comes in. But the rest of it, its growth, its root system, everything is very measured and it's very slow. Kind of patience is key, which is why I put temperance next. So avoid any knee-jerk or spur-of-the-moment reactions. A lot of times when presented with something, we kind of immediately go to what comes to mind. And this is reminding you to kind of, just like Apollo in the background, dig a little deeper, right, buddy? And before you get to that final decision. He was eating earlier, which is why I didn't bring him up. I'll bring him up at a natural pause later, but he's just chilling in the background. Get all the facts, and if you need to, sleep on a big decision. I was kind of vacillating between Temperance and the Four of Swords here. Temperance felt better because it is about finding that balance, not going to extremes, getting one foot in the water, just kind of figuring things out. So I really think that that's going to be a good card to meditate on. Remember, you can't please everybody. And this took me many decades to figure out. We always want to make sure that you get the gold star, A+, support from everyone, but it's just not going to happen. And the older that you get, the more that you realize that there's value in saying no. And if you're making important changes, it's very rarely going to be unilaterally accepted. There's always going to be somebody that wants it to be like it used to be. All right. Slow and steady wins the race. I would always pick the Nine of Pentacles for this, as you know. So this particular totem, saguaro cactus, only grows maybe an inch to an inch and a half when it's young, and then even slower as it gets older. And then some of the key features, the flowers, they don't actually occur until it's 35 years old. The branches that are signature to it, they won't appear until it's about 50 to 100 years old. So it teaches us that slow growth is still growth nonetheless. It's not about the speed, but the consistency. Let's give a little love to this guy while he's digging around in the background. He's saying, hey guys, I need some attention here. All right, so slow growth is still growth, and sometimes we forget that, and we are so keen on seeing it right here, right in front of us. Thanks, buddy. But we need to have patience, right, when we're going through the growth period. Just like I reached out to a little Apollo here, remember that networking is important. The shallow root system that I talked about earlier, it actually goes out quite wide. So this is a reminder that the more you reach out, the more you can receive. So your friends, your colleagues, the people that are asking you, hey, you want to get a coffee, or let's hang out this, tonight or this weekend. We want to say yes to some of those invitations because you never know what can transpire when you actually say yes. So remember, you have support in your life. Not only that, you are actually kind of a welcoming energy. So one of the things that I love about this particular cactus is that it is a habitat for a lot of different creatures. And that includes owls, parrots, reptiles, also woodpeckers, which are the sort of creators of all the holes that you see where these creatures go in. So this is a magnet, this particular symbol, prickly, out there in the middle of nowhere, all of that. It's actually the lover's energy. And it's saying, come on in. And so you have that energy too. If you choose to be strong, if you choose to kind of develop the thick skin, if you choose to realize that I can't make everyone happy, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to hold my boundaries. Ultimately, this symbol is what we see in this particular slide here. So like the saguaro and the woodpecker, your energy is attractive. You have the capacity to make new friends, attract new opportunities, and make a difference in the world around you. So that's why I love this so much. Let me show you one of my favorite cacti from my back porch here, and then we're going to get started in today's reading. So one moment here, and just to give cactus some love. And believe it or not, this is actually the end of this one blooming. So this is a Rubutia, and take a look at this. So that's what it looks like on this side, and then we have like this mega bloom of flowers, and it's already gone through, we got a couple of these falling off, it's already gone through its initial bloom phase. But can you believe this? Would you actually think that this is a cactus? You can't even see it from here. So don't judge something by its surface would be another thing that I would say here, because looks can be deceiving, and I may have to look at this side of the cactus for like 11 months out of the year, but the 1 month that I see this, it's like totally worth it, isn't it? Isn't it beautiful? So never underestimate the beauty of someone or something. It's not always what it seems, okay? So since I don't have a saguaro cactus, but I do have my own sort of cacti and succulents on my back porch, I thought I would share one of my favorite ones with you, okay? Here's another one too. Just to show you again, they may not look beautiful initially, but they do have this capacity to really come through, and they are beautiful bloomers, right? Okay, enough with the cacti. I happen to live in Southern California, so one of the things that I've started to do is to take advantage of this the fact that it's dry and warm, and cacti love to grow out here. So rather than wasting water, I've started to grow these lovely drought-resistant plants that, you know, have that beautiful showing once a year. All right, so let's get ready for the 7-day forecast. This is going to take us from Sunday to Sunday, and it should give you a nice little navigation, a sort of touchstone for each day. Today, I'm just going to kind of go with the flow and pick some cards or some decks that are calling to me. I used True Heart Intuitive yesterday for a reading, and I loved it, so I think I'm going to use that for the main reading. And then I'm just going to shuffle things up as I look at some of the other places here. So let's see. I am feeling perhaps the Tarot of the Divine or Afro Goddess for this. Tarot of the Divine. All right, so we're going to do Tarot of the Divine for this portion, and let's take a look at the next 7 days. So we've got today, and then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, some big changes coming through. Saturday and Sunday. All right. Sorry to support this bothering me. All right, let's take a look at this and see what's in store. Let's begin with today. So for today's energy, we have the King of Pentacles. I really like this particular illustration. You know, in a lot of different world religions, the turtle can represent the world. Like there's the myth that creation myth that the whole world is on top of this turtle. So one thing that's kind of interesting with the King of Pentacles is this feeling that you are the only one, that I'm getting with this card anyway, is that you're the only one that can do everything, or that the weight of the world is on your back, almost like Atlas. So with this card in reverse, one of the things that we're seeing is, first of all, to let go a little bit, to delegate. You know, I didn't even talk about some of the feature cards, but I think I had the 7 of Wands when I was doing the channel messages. So that to me is always a chance to work a little bit smarter, not as hard, but more intelligently, more balanced. And so with the King of Pentacles in reverse, the same thing is true. It's saying, I don't need to do this all. Sometimes it can be seen as a hoarding card when it's reversed, like I need everything. It also kind of translates that way when you're looking at work or control issues. So what we want to do to elevate this is to say, I'm going to let some of that go. When I let some of that go, I can focus more on this. I can be more readily available for that. I can actually develop myself a little bit skills-wise. So letting go of that, not feeling like you have to control it all or have it all, is going to be the first message. The second one, specifically because I chose a different deck here that has an animal totem on it, the turtle is a reminder to come out of your shell. So with this card in reverse, it's saying come out a little bit, connect with people. For those of you that might be in a leadership position, this is extremely important because it would say that, the more you can kind of be in the trenches and roll up your sleeves a little bit and do work with people, the more inspired they're going to be to get the job done. If you're in an advisory role to sort of a leader like that, then that would be what I would tell them too is it would be really a great morale boost if you could show up to this event, if you could help out with this, if you could champion something. So grassroots effort is what I see with this. Personal development, choosing to invest in yourself as well, and then also remembering to let go a little bit. Have some fun today. We're looking at this on a Sunday, so if you get outside, that would be great. I know that certain part of the world is looking at this on Monday. Some of my viewers in Australia, for instance, and maybe China. But for the rest of us, I would say focus on doing something fun. And even if it is a Monday, even if it is a work day, every day there should be something that brings you a little bit of inspiration. 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Treat yourself to an hour if you can do it, but something where you're feeling like, all right, I'm doing this for others. I'm doing this and this and this to be productive. What am I doing to feed my heart and my soul? All right. I try to look at a positive spin on King of Pentacles reverse, which is I'm going to grow a little bit. I'm going to put some of those resources back in myself so that I can continue to support everyone around me. It is the card of house and home, both the King and the Queen of Pentacles. So domestic affairs could be very important. Dealing with your children, dealing with your parents, dealing with siblings, or even a close gathering of friends. Something intimate and familial, that's a great thing to do today as well. All right, so let's take a look at the other cards for the week ahead, starting with Monday. I really like the energy here. We have the Magician, and I love that this is sort of from, all of these cards are like fairy tales retold. So this is Cinderella, right? So fairy godmother coming through. We see the little pumpkins and the mice at the bottom. So a couple of interesting things because of the way that this is illustrated. First of all, when we dream, we should dream big and we shouldn't put unnecessary caveats or limits on it. The thing that I don't like about the fairy godmother in that story is she's like, you get what you want, but only for a little bit of time. And that's it. You're like, this is a dream, but then it goes away. So let's dream in a way that we can accomplish something and sustain it. Remembering that the saguaro cactus is all about sustainability, right? And continual sort of energy, even if it takes a little bit longer, slow and steady, right? So dream big. Don't expect first of all, you don't have to wait, but if it doesn't show up immediately, that doesn't mean that manifestation isn't happening. It just means that it might be slower and more subtle. So trust in your abilities, trust in your intuition. Don't limit your dreams. Don't think, well, because I'm this, I can only have that. Or because I'm this old or this experienced or someone told me I was this, I can only have that. So if we thought that way, we would continue to have limitations and we wouldn't get innovation in technology and social sort of like spheres and all of that. We have to continue to kind of push the boundaries. So push the boundaries in your dreams. Dream big. Dream bigger would be what this card would say since she was reversed. Don't put too many stipulations on how your manifestation might happen. I always like to add something, which those of you that listen to me frequently, you know this, but it's good and bears repetition. Add something to the end of your dream or your goal, which is all of this or higher. All of this or something better than my expectations, better than my wildest dreams. Because that tells the universe, hey, I'm a big dreamer, but like if I'm ready for more and deserving of more, I'm ready to receive it. As I'm saying this, I feel an activation right here in the solar plexus. Some of you are maybe you feel this challenge when authority comes in, or if you're given an opportunity to step into a role and take charge. Because just as I said that, just like a sword hit me in the middle of my belly button, just above it. So you are ready for this. I don't know. A lot of times this can be mom or dad. It can also be older sister or a boss, someone who bosses us around, older brother too. But it's sort of like an authority figure in our life that we're sort of letting go of, or kind of regaining our control, our autonomy. So on Monday, that could come to a test. They may not agree with your dream or your vision. You're going to hold tight to that no matter what, though. Okay? So honor your dream. Don't let someone else put stipulations or limits on it. Don't limit it yourself. Okay? One thing that could happen on Monday is a lack of focus. Magician is powerful. When it's reversed, it gets distracted. So remember to focus on what's important. If you start to manifest or focus negativity, that's not what we want. Like, worst possible case scenarios, etc. Let's put some of that fear out of our mind. Prepare for the worst, but expect the best. Always expect positive outcomes. And then the rest is just sort of contingency and insurance. But we're not going to sit there and constantly think about negative, because then it starts to attract it, and I don't want that. Especially on Monday. Whenever you get the Magician or the High Priestess, you are manifesting like crazy and you're really tapped into source. So let's keep the focus on the positive, all right? It's not just about being Pollyanna. It's actually about, as we can see here, this powerful manifestation energy. We have the Queen of Cups coming through for Tuesday. Fantastic energy for creativity. Also a really good energy for being able to bring other people into what makes you passionate. So Queen of Cups is, to me, one of the best sort of like communicators and project managers when it comes to creatives. So she understands how everybody feels, what they need, and also she gets the big vision. So it's a leadership card for sure, but you don't have to have a leadership title. You could be the one that is able to soothe people's fears, assuage their concerns, make them feel like, I understand you, but we're going to be able to do this. So you have that ability to kind of step in, whether or not you have the role, whether or not you feel like you can do it, and you can make your friends, your family, your coworkers feel nurtured and loved, and all of you can get further ahead with that. You need to take care of yourself, however, on Tuesday. Queen of Cups in reverse is saying, you know what? I've been doing a lot for others. I need a break. I need a time out. I need a little bit of TLC. So this is a perfect day for you to, if you can leave work early, or if you can take a vacation day or sick day, or if after, if you're not working, if you can do something to take care of yourself. So a massage, acupuncture, a long bubble bath, going to a movie, whatever it is that makes you feel like, yeah, this was a nice splurge. This is why I'm working so hard. This makes taking care of everyone else a little bit easier. That's what we're getting with the energy on Tuesday. You're creative, but you're sensitive. You're a good leader, but you need to support yourself. So make sure that the self-care is a part of this so that you don't get burned out. We don't want to see that burnout set in. All right. Let's take a look now at Wednesday. So everything's been leading up to, it's actually been a pretty good week so far if we look at this. So there's been a common thread here though, which is letting go. So this is the first day we actually see things coming in, like receive. So this was a let go, let go, let go. Now we see a receiving card here at the midweek. So on Wednesday, we have Knight of Cups finally in the upright position, which is good. This is saying, because I took care of myself, now I can listen to you a little bit more. Now I can channel and talk about things a little bit more. Now I can take this and actively work on it because I've done all of the inner work. So it's a very good day to see things move to the next level. It's not pentacles, but we're still seeing an internal movement. Remember that one of the most important ways to show, to see something happen is it's got to happen in here and in here. Once the mental and the emotional pieces come into play, then all the cogs start to move. Then we bring in like Wheel of Fortune energy or King of Pentacles energy. So people will start to get behind it. We'll start to see momentum build, okay? Even if you can't visually see it, it's happening inside. So it's a good day to win over hearts and minds. It's a good day to start talking and meeting with people. It's a great day for interaction. Now we see impatience coming in. The big change is happening at the end of the week, but we have to deal with Thursday first. So this is where it's sort of like, all right, we were making good progress. Why am I not seeing more? Some of you might also be overextending yourself. We see this diva here with all the different hands trying to control everything, trying to do everything. Slow down a little bit. Really focus on the message that we were talking about here, which is you don't have to do everything. Focus on where you can. If we were to take these cards and make them upright, this is saying, I believe in myself. I can do this Monday. I'm excited about this, and I'm supporting myself and I'm supporting others. Now we're going to get everybody together on the same page. And this doesn't have to happen overnight. The fact that it's happening at all is all that's important here. One step at a time. That's the big message with temperance. 1 foot in. Let's just dip our feet in the water and see how it feels, okay? So you're going to see, and remembering the saguaro cactus, an inch a year, it still grows, and over the course of 150 years, you get that beautiful cactus. It's not going to take you that long to achieve something, but it may take a few weeks or a few months. So be patient with yourself, be patient with others, and really start to focus on where you feel good, where you feel like this is how I can add to the equation, because that helps get our mind off of things. You may need some sort of an outlet on Thursday. You may need to change the mental channel and say, all right, I've done everything I can with this. So what I'm going to do is focus a little bit on this today and give this time to percolate, to grow, to come back to me, okay? Friday's good, believe it or not. We have the death card, but death is also rebirth. It's also transformation. What it is saying in the reverse state is to anywhere that there's stagnation, this is where you need to focus. This is a really kind of interesting card for death because it's telling you like you can anticipate, see, or sense the change long before it happens. She sees the specter of transformation before she pulls back the curtain. So you may be kind of that canary in the coal mine. I talked earlier this week about that, either to Capricorn or Sagittarius. As a highly sensitive person, which most of you are if you're tuning into what I do here, you are perceiving and kind of connecting to things a little bit earlier than the rest. So get ahead of the change. Get ahead of the tower, get ahead of the death card, get ahead of the world card, and say, you know what, let's take a look at this. No one else is willing to take a look. I am. She isn't afraid of change. That's all death is change. And she's saying, let's see what this involves. I've been through other things. I can get through this too. So be curious, be proactive, take that first step, and get some understanding, even if it's scary to see, well, what would this be like if I wasn't doing this? If this person wasn't here, if, whatever it is. Look at all the potential outcomes and get some education on that. That's what I normally do when fear sets in, when uncertainty sets in. I do some research and I think, well, how are other people handling it? How did I handle it before? Did that work? So have a little conversation with those different parts of your mind that might be piping up and saying, put that curtain back, just wait. You can't ignore it. If something isn't paid attention to, you're still going to. It's kind of like a skunk, right? You're still going to smell it. The change is coming. You have to pay attention to it, all right? This is the day where things may finally shift. Now, again, it could be the other party or it could be you. One person is ahead of the other. So this is the day, like the cactus, where you're going to have to be able to expand. You're going to have to go with the flow and go with the change. And if you do that, then you're going to really ease into possibility. So of all the days of the next week, we haven't even looked at the weekend. It looks pretty decent except for Sunday. But of all the days next week, this is the day where you're going to be probably tested the most or rewarded the most. It's the biggest change card that I can see. Okay. And it's one of the biggest change cards in the major arcana or in tarot in general. So everything else was building up to something big. Now, when we look at the aggregate energy, they're all positive cards. King of Pentacles, the Magician, Queen of Cups, Knight of Cups, and Temperance. So I'm going to read this as a positive change, but there's still an element of surprise. Have you ever noticed that, particularly for those of you that are really intuitive, you may have a clairvoyant vision, you may have a hunch, you may have a gut instinct, call it whatever you want. You see it coming, but the moment it actually happens, there's still that sense of, whoa, this is what it feels like. It can be a wow, this is amazing when you get an award, when you get recognition, when you get support, when someone asks you out on a date, whatever. You get the butterflies, right? It can also be the panic that sets in when you realize the totality of something. Even though you've been building up to it, when it happens, there's that mental reset. So that's why death is the symbol of this. Those of you that have been through a loss, it can be a physical loss, or a material loss, like a loss of a house, the loss of a job, especially a loss of a loved one. The way that we grieve, it sets in so many different ways, right? And it hits us at times that are unexpected. So change, transformation, death, it's all in that same sort of energy of you're going to need some time to digest it. So Friday is the beginning, but it's going to find other ways to kind of come through. So just roll with the punches. Each day is a different day, and some days may be a little bit more than others. All right, looking now at the weekend, I'm really happy for Saturday. It feels like you need a break after all that you've been through this week. You've been really productive. You've been really open and creative. You've been able to manifest. You've rolled with some of the changes that we just talked about. And so now here on Saturday, we have the Three of Cups. This is actually like the card's advising you to have some fun, because the Three of Cups is a good card. It's saying be with your friends, celebrate little successes, treat yourself to something nice, relax. And a perfect card for those of you that don't work on Saturdays. Some of you, like me, may work on a Sunday or something like that, but Saturday's a good day to kind of connect with people if you can, all right? There may be new love, new friendship, new opportunity that comes knocking on the door. And so if you're open to that, say yes. Remember that the advice here was to come out of your shell, right? So see what comes of it. Even if it's not exactly what you're looking for, it helps you get a little closer to understanding what you want. In existing relationships, this can be a chance for you to hang out with other couples. There could be a challenge in your relationship about commitment. This is a day to talk to your partner no matter what. So if you're partnered up, either hang out with them or work on a bigger issue. If you're looking for love, it's a great day for that. If you're single and happy, still a good time to do networking, remembering that that was one of the messages from this overall totem, because you never know where that networking could open a future door or opportunity for you. So we have a revelation sort of energy that's coming through here on Sunday. Sometimes we panic when we see the Seven of Swords, not me, but some people may. When we see the card in reverse, it's actually saying, I see you, or I see through the facade, or I am no longer afraid of this. I see the real piece of the equation here. Seven of Swords, as we can see, is someone trying to get away with something, or something that's revealed to us when we least expect it, from who we might least expect something to happen. So a lot of times people could be trying to keep a secret. There could be a surprise that gets spoiled. There could be someone that says they're going to do something, but they don't. We could be telling ourselves a little bit of a white lie, which is, I'm okay, I don't need help with this, but we know we do, or we overpromise. Basically, it's just the understanding that could have gone a little bit better. With the card in reverse, it's saying, I see a cycle. I don't want to repeat this anymore. I'm done with this. I know how this story ends, and I may not like the ending. So what you get to do is a course correct. Even if it's inconvenient, take a turn to the right, take a turn left, go in reverse if you need to. This is completely avoidable next Sunday. You got a lot of time to change this up a little bit. You might also, based on what I see, hear something from a friend. And because this can be gossip, this can be talking through things with people. So if that gossip is happening, make sure you vet the source before you accuse someone or go too far on something. But that could be what's coming through here, is that through the grapevine, you find something out. There could also just be this sort of awakening that you don't want to go down this path. It's also just a nudge. I mean, hopefully you got it from everything that I said. Don't try to get away with something. This is not the day where you want to try to put something under the rug. People are going to figure it out, okay? So be accountable, be honest, be transparent, encourage others to do the same. And if they aren't, walk away from that situation, because we're on the heels of a retrograde. It's coming next month, around the middle of the month. So this is a good time to stop some of this stuff so that you can begin something better, because you can break cycles in retrograde. So let's break this cycle and start something new, okay? Great energy overall. And let's just pick highlights and lowlights, I guess, of next month, or next week rather. I think the best day of the week is Wednesday, because you have the Knight of Cups coming through. You're receptive, others are receptive, things are moving, even if it's internally. That's my highlight day. I think the most enjoyable day would be next Saturday. You have a chance to network. You're going to have some fun. You can let loose a little bit, which is great. When we're looking at when the magic happens, when the actual work happens, you are channeling a lot, actually, both on Monday and Tuesday. This is highly receptive from the universe. This is you kind of putting your own stamp on it. So the Magician and the Queen of Cups are really good partners when it comes to making something that people can get behind. So lots of magic happening here, lots of people being receptive here. And again, the trickiest day would probably be on Friday. This is when the change happens and we're not always ready. We're not always prepared, even if we think we're prepared. So give yourself a little bit more peace and space if you need to on that day to let things kind of transpire the way they need to. All right. So let's get ready for the next portion of the reading. We're going to take a look now. We're going to move from the 7-day forecast into blessings and blocks. Just as it sounds, blessings and blocks are a chance for us to really embrace possibilities in our life, right? All right, so let's take a look now and see what the universe wants to show us, okay? So I'm going to kind of go between different decks as I do this, just for fun. All right, so our blessing is the Four of Cups, and our block is the Four of Swords. Let's break this down a little bit and talk about what it means. All right, so blessing card, Four of Cups. If you're willing to look in a different direction, you might be surprised by what comes through. This is usually a card that would say, hey, you're missing something, but you got a lot of reversals. Don't panic with reversals. They're good. They're showing subtlety. And for some cards like the Four of Cups, they're actually better. This is saying, I'm willing to entertain the possibility of this or this. When I entertain that, when I reach out there on a cognitive level, I start to find like, maybe I like this. So think of trying a different flavor of ice cream, cake, milkshake, I don't care, whatever. Something that you wouldn't normally try, even a vegetable. You think you don't like it, you try it again as an adult, you're like, you know what? I think I like broccoli. So whatever it is, give it a second chance, give it a try, give it a taste. See how it sits with you, and you may be surprised. Your blessing is tastes change over time. Opinions change over time. You're going to be able to see an opportunity in a place you didn't see it before. And it's just by being open-minded. Even if you had a habit of never doing X, Y, or Z, now you're going to try it and you're going to think, why did I say I didn't like that? I guess I was just in a different space. Because we change, we shed our skins over time, and we develop a different appreciation for things. So look for something that's closer than you think it is. We see that extra cup being right here. So in a traditional Rider-Waite-Smith, it's floating just to the right or to the left of the main figure, and they're looking kind of grumpy. And so the main thing to remember is I may feel frustrated. I may be comparing my life to someone else, the grass looking greener over there, but the universe is saying, hello, I've got something better waiting for you. It could be right here. It could be around the corner. Don't be down on yourself. Don't be down on me. Don't be down on the universe. Something good is en route. Something wonderful is about to happen. So you want to keep tasting, keep looking, keep exploring. All right? So that's your blessing this week. Your block is some of you are fatigued. So I prefer the Four of Swords to be upright than reversed. Upright, it's saying, I'm resting, I'm receiving, I'm integrating, I'm taking care of things. Things are starting to go into a nice and easy space. In reverse, it's saying, gosh, I need a break. Wow, there's a lot going on. I wish I had a little bit more time to take to myself and just to make sure I'm okay. So one block is you could be so fatigued that you lose your temper. You could be so tired that you're not paying attention to the details. You could be lacking concentration so that you don't integrate things and it takes 2 or 3 times of someone telling you something. Get some rest, take some time, say no to something, remembering the Six of Pentacles card where you have to make some choices. Not everybody can get everything that they want, including you, okay? So letting go a little bit and making sure that you have that time to dream, that's so important. One thing that's kind of cool with this particular Four of Swords is we almost see like a pregnant belly there, a very receptive one, and we see all the stars around her. So when we're at our most sort of peaceful state, we can receive messages. For those of you that are intuitive, this is why if you don't make time to meditate, that everything happens in dreams. Because you're working really hard. So take some time to meditate, or if you're sitting in bed and you've got all these thoughts going through your head, do something prior to sleep that will help you kind of like do a download of all of that, okay? So again, the blessing is something is closer than you think. The block is you're so tired and so distracted that you might miss it. So you really want to make sure that you are taking care of yourself. You're slowing down a little bit and you're looking around, left, right, up, down, etc. What you're looking for is closer, who you're looking for is closer, and the universe has your back. All right, so let's see where we're at. We looked at this channel messages, 7-day forecast, blessings and blocks. Let's go on to, I think, what many people love, which is the elemental breakdown. This, my friends, is the only piece that is absolutely sign specific. Everything else, everybody that's here, you're going to get a message from it. All right, I'm going to use the Light Seers deck. Actually, I'll use Aphrodite for this portion. And then I'm going to use the True Heart Intuitive for the main one in just a moment here. So, all right, we're going to start. I'll pull one card for each, and then I'll break down the messages for each. So again, it's going to be fire, earth, air, and water. All right, let me turn the camera down, and let's take a look at these. Move the speaker here so you can see it. Or the mic, rather. All right. So, fire message, earth, you got 2 for air, and water. Okay, it's pretty good across the board. All right, so let's talk about this. We're going to start first with fire signs. So this is going to be Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Again, you can use it for your different placements too. So for fire, the message this week is to work on self-confidence and open up to new things. It's very much an extension of the blessings and the blocks message. So with the 5 of Pentacles, what happens a lot of times is we have a little bit of a soul scar. We have a little bit of something from the past that hit us on a level that we didn't expect. Someone said you weren't enough. Maybe mom wasn't there or dad wasn't there the way you needed it. Maybe a teacher or a mentor let you down. On some levels, it also can just be an internal high level or high bar of excellence that we hold for ourselves. And if we're overly critical about our lack of progress or lack of achievements, we think, I'm not worth it. It's not working. I'm failing. What we see on this tree is the illusion of fall and winter, which it seems like it's death, but it's not. It's dormancy. It's rest. So some of you may be just coming out of that dormancy. So this is a blessing in disguise coming through as a block. So things are starting to wake up a little bit. And we're going to see that fruitful energy here. So you only see a piece of it. Maybe it's the buds in the spring. You don't see the full 10 of Pentacles that you would normally see. You just see half of it, but it's en route. So my message for all of the fire signs is to be kinder to yourself, to trust your instincts and your skills a little bit more. You've got this. And to work on healing the inner child, something that I know is one of the topics here that doesn't get picked all the time, but it comes through when it needs to for who it needs to. So it's coming through here for all my fire signs. Take care of that piece of you that feels like I need to be nurtured, or this part of me still hurts and I need to fix it. And we can have that inner child coming out at any age. You can be 8 or you can be 88, and you can still have that little energy coming through because we're still young at heart. So take care of yourself. One last thing for this, a lot of things when I get the 5 of Pentacles. I want you to be unafraid of advocating for more. This card often indicates that you're willing to give more than enough away, too much away. Sometimes people take advantage of you because you're kind, because you listen, because you do a great job. So I want you to have the 6 of Pentacles. Even like I've said before, a nonprofit, I don't want to see this because it's not enough. It's not enough to cover the overhead, the legal, the cost of operations. So 5 of Pentacles is not a desirable card. We want to go to 6 of Pentacles. And the way that you can get to 6 of Pentacles is by saying no, not now, by doing what's right, not always what's popular, by finding some things that bring balance in your life. Because the 6 of Pentacles would have the balance, the scales, and it would be you deciding what to give, what to receive. So that's all you need to do is be a little bit more discerning, all my fire signs, and you're going to be in that successful energy. To have a little bit more faith, hopefully just listening to me today You can do this. I don't care who said you couldn't or who said you weren't enough. You've got this. You are more than enough. And if you're ready to open up that door, that gate, there's more opportunity that is knocking, okay? So I'm excited to see how you find your new sort of limits and keep those boundaries and what new opportunity you're willing to bring in. That's the focus for fire, okay? Let's move along to my earth signs. This is going to be Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. It's a fun week for you, I have to say. We have the Four of Wands coming through, so new friendship, new partnership. Also, for many of you, you're holding space for that. Maybe you just got out of a really difficult space in your life where, there was a divorce, there was you left a job, or you just got rid of a roommate or something, but now you've got this room in your life for something or someone better, because this can be a figurative partnership or a figurative person coming in. It doesn't have to just be like a love interest. So you're holding space, and the universe is saying, I see you, and I'm trying to line up the right opportunity for you. If you just started dating, this is one of the best cards that I could pull for that. If you just made a new friend, one of the best cards. If you're having some difficulty in a relationship, this is saying go back to the reason that you got together to start with, because this is about friendship first, and the promises that you made, and then keeping those promises and being there for that person. So this is the better or for worse sort of message when it comes to a relationship. If you can be friends, you can be anything. But if the friendship is faltering, that's where you need to focus, okay? But this is one of the most bright and positive cards that I could pull. So earth signs, really focus on the networking, really focus on the people this week. That is going to be the most important thing. And remembering, like Field of Dreams, if you hold the space, if you make that sort of energy open, people will come. If you build it, they will come. All right, so hold the space, hold your heart kind of in that open sort of energy, and wait and see what comes knocking, okay? All right, so really positive energy for Earth. Let's move on to my air signs, Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. You got some great energy too. We'll start with the first card that came through, which is Two of Cups. Someone may legitimately be reaching out to you and saying, I thought of you for this. This can be a business engagement. It can also be love. Someone may say, hey, do you want to hang out? Do you want to go on a date? They may be expressing their love for you. You may be opening up to this. It doesn't necessarily mean that the person will show up right now. It's saying, hey, universe, I'm ready to receive. I'm ready for love. Show me where it's at. Show me what I need to do to work on that to attract it. And then we have King of Swords coming through, which is really good for air signs. So you're showing up as yourself. And it's reverse, which means speak your mind. And so if you're in a relationship, this is about being honest, saying, hey, we need to talk about this, without saying those words. You could say instead, I love you, and I have something that I think will really be important for us. Like, whatever. Just don't say we need to talk. It's usually the worst combination of words possible. So because I love you, I have something exciting to share if it's good news. Always let someone know if it's good news. Don't say we need to talk. Say, I have something exciting. I want to share it with you. Perfect. Then they're not on edge. If you do have a difficult conversation, you can say, we've been through a lot, but I think that there's something that we can do to make our relationship even stronger. Are you ready to work on this? You'll find a better way. So get to the point, basically. Don't be afraid to get in there. Be mindful, though, to not sort of like panic someone, because the King or Queen of Swords in reverse can panic someone. If you need to advocate for yourself, this is a fierce card for negotiation. In court, I want the King of Swords on my side. I want the King of Swords defending or speaking sort of on my behalf. So don't be afraid to try to right a wrong. This card is very good for that. And people will listen. People may be surprised if you're normally a quiet person and you use your voice. A punctuated moment of articulation and getting straight to that point, people will be sort of like, wow, I didn't expect that. All right, let's talk, let's listen, let's see what's going on here. So combining the two of these, you have the support of others and you have your skills for communication coming in a really strong way. So I think you're set up for success, all right? Really, really great. Don't be afraid to talk to someone else and say, I have you in mind for this, or I would like you to, I'd like to go out with you, whatever. Speak up first. And, I'm hoping that we're getting past the sort of traditional ways of looking at this where it's only one gender that can ask someone out, or only one gender that can propose, or that you might be in a position where you always expect to have someone come to you. This particular card is saying this week anyway, that doesn't work. Let's change it up a little bit. Because you might be missing something. You might be missing out on something. So don't be afraid to be the initiator or the one that opens the door. Someone else is waiting for you. So when you speak up this week, it's going to be particularly effective. Moving on to water signs, Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. By the way, are you noticing? I mean, I'm noticing it. There's a lot of love this week. Love, love, love. And here it's just about self-confidence. So it's self-love. This is friendship and partnership. This is more love. And this is like really deep karmic connections and partnership. It's all love though. Even the Five of Pentacles, it's self-love. Love yourself. So love across the board. And that to me is pretty exciting. I'm not someone who focuses on love, but when I see it, I say it. And I see it. All right. So this is the card of karmic relationships. One of the many cards. The Death card, also Judgment, the Star card. There's a bunch of different ones that can indicate it. But Six of Cups in particular. Now, this can be also blood relations like brother, sister. That's why we see two children there. It can be your children if you are a parent, or your parents if you are a child. It's the closest, most intimate connection you can have. So water signs. This particular week, those closest relationships are the ones that are going to come into focus. So they could be really, you should look at the 7-day forecast to kind of figure out how to navigate them. But like I would say, the Wednesday date is the best day to sort of get together, or Saturday, because that was the Three of Cups. But you have a chance to really go deeper into your relationships this particular week. The other thing is, if you've been waiting for a really great kind of energy to come into your life, it's closer than you think with this card. It could be through a connection from a friend, or brother, sister, friend, family member. They could introduce you to someone, because that close connection is saying, hey, oh yes, wait, I know somebody, and they know you well. And so maybe you're going to be, set up on a date or something, or thought about for a job or opportunity. Your best energy comes from your closest relationships. Your closest relationships are going to also affect your other relationships. So clean them up karmically. If there's anything that's kind of missing, if there's any apologies that need to be made, if there's any words that need to be said, say them. As somebody who lost someone recently, I would say it's so important to get the things out there that you need to say. And thankfully, I did all of that. I would say if we're looking at, a marker for the week, say what you need to say by the time Friday comes along. I think that, again, the middle of the week is the most receptive. So Wednesday's a good day to say what you need to say, but so are Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, fantastic. So get it out, and then the rest of the week can be sort of more about mulling it over and moving on to the next thing. Okay? Let me take a quick drink here. Let's see what we've talked about. We'll see what's coming next. I think we're up to the viewer's choice. Yes, we are. All right, I'm going to clear the cards for a second, and we'll talk a little bit about what's coming next. So we're going to look at the viewers and the reader's choice. Actually, before I clear it, let me look at the cards and see if there's a common trend for you to vote on. So let's take a look and see here. For those of you that are watching live and are already subscribed, you're going to be able to vote on this. So let's take a look at all of these things here. So I, as a reader, am going to look at love. It's unavoidable, and it's something that's important. So don't worry about that. We'll look at love. What I want to focus on for giving you an option anyway, we'll look at the energy of change. I'm going to title it exactly that, the energy of change, what to know. All right, so that's option number one. The second option that I'm looking at is honesty, honesty and transparency, basically the Seven of Swords. Honesty and transparency, Seven of Swords. And then the next thing that I think is really important is coming out of your shell. Coming out of your shell. All right. So feel free to vote on that viewer's choice. I'm just sending it out to vote on right now. And I'm going to take a look at love. But I need to clean up the table here because we got way too many cards here. So let's use the Light Seers deck for this one. And we're going to do Reader's Choice first. Got all those cards around love and partnership. So let's take a look here and see what the message is for love and partnership. Very interesting. Okay. Let's talk about this. All right. So we got the Judgment card in reverse. Remember when I said there's a lot of different energy around karmic past life relationships? Well, this is one of them. This is actually like the quintessential sign of something that's connected to your past. What you get to do this particular week is to redefine roles. So not everybody believes in reincarnation, but my perspective spiritually is that it exists. I've seen my own past lives, and I see that energy continues. Most of my dead relatives I see in dreams and meditations. Sometimes I hear them clairaudiently, and they are still persisting in energy. So I know that energy doesn't stop, and then I've seen my energy on a continuum, and I've seen different lifetimes. So what we get to do, I actually had got a haircut the other day, and the guy that was cutting my hair was asking me about reincarnation. He said, you know, how does it work? Why don't we remember who we were? What a great question, right? Why don't we remember? We do when it's important, but we don't when we need to resolve something. So imagine that you met someone who stole from you. Imagine you met someone who betrayed you, who you had unrequited love with. And imagine that you remembered how painful that was when you saw them in this lifetime, and how difficult it would be to get past the grudge or the pain. Now let's imagine that that person is your son, is your partner, is your best friend, is your boss. And now in this lifetime, they're trying to do better, and you see them with a new lens. Well, what you're both getting a chance to do is to remove the karma. And by the way, usually the cards or the tables turned. So what happens is the person who controlled you, you're in the leadership position. The person that you loved and they didn't love you back, now they love you and you get to decide if you love them. The tables get to be turned and we get to try a different mask, a different role, a different persona. So it only works when we don't remember everything. What we do as intuitive people, though, is we pick up on something. It's like, wait, I need to focus a little bit more on this person. Okay, I'm not going to rush into this. I'm going to take my time. So we get enough of a download, but not so much so that we can't see them differently and that they can't show up differently. So you get to redefine a role in a karmic relationship. Sometimes when you're really intuitive, you're going to see that past life anyway, and then you get to decide as the one with the more information, what am I going to do about it? This time around, the person seems like they're pretty solid, but they've played games with me before. So I'm going to be guarded, but I'm going to give them some room, and I'm going to set some limits, and we'll see where they show up this time. Okay? So you have the power to redefine yourself. You have the power to redefine the relationship with someone else. You also have the power to release something. So one other thing that you can do right now is to decide that I'm going to release a cycle. For those of you, like I saw many lifetimes where I was like a monk, I was a priest, I was a priestess, I was a magician, I was a whatever. I did a bunch of different things in magic and a lot of religious stuff. It's specifically like the monk, the nun, the priest thing. So with all of those, there was this vow of chastity, this vow of poverty, this vow of service. Probably part of the reason that I still do Sunday readings, right? But what I did in this lifetime, and I continue to do, is I released the vows of chastity and poverty. They don't suit me in this lifetime. I already did that. So you don't need to sacrifice that much to be of service to others. So you can break a vow of chastity or poverty because it's not going to help you in this lifetime. So you can say, I'm open to receive love and abundance in all forms, in the highest forms. I know I'm open to celebrate the divine energy through the celebration of love and relationships, through the reception of abundance in the highest forms. So just because money and resources come to you doesn't make you less spiritual. Just because you love someone and connect with them on a physical level doesn't make you less spiritual. So you can release that. You can also release quote unquote like family curses or ancestral baggage. So if all of your family has trouble with money, you're the one that's going to change it. If nobody went to school, you can be the one that goes to school. If everybody's stubborn, you can be the one that's open-minded. You get to judge yourself less critically and more openly. This is a big message that came through for that one, unexpected. I'm glad I looked at it. By loving yourself and looking at yourself differently, other people can do the same. That's the Cliff's Notes version of it, okay? Very cool. All right, so by the way, just a reminder, I don't have a chance to look at questions here. You can save it until the very end, okay? All right, so let's go ahead now and see which one you are asking me to look at. The energy of change, what to know? Very good question, and I'm glad you chose it, okay? So let's take a look and see what's coming through with the energy of change, what you need to know, what you need to focus on. Wow. So we keep just getting love, love, and more love, don't we? All right. So everything that I just talked about seems like it's coming through again. And I think that today, I just have news for you. You should love yourself. Other people love and support you. And the more you're open to that, the more you're going to receive. That's what the change is. Some of you have had a hard time loving yourself. I was listening to NPR this morning, and I'm trying to remember the actress. I think she was in Lovecraft, the HBO sort of series. But she was talking about, and I think it was the main female actress, I can't remember her name, but she was talking about this thing that she did in the mirror every morning, because she didn't see a lot of people that represented her when she was kind of acting and everything. So she would say, I love my hair, I love my skin, I love my height, I love my... Basically, she just practiced self-love because representation wasn't there. So a lot of us, we don't relate to what we see in television and in media. It can also be for those of you that might be, you part of the LGBTQ plus community. You're not seeing representation there. It can be ethnic minorities. It can be religious minorities. Whatever it is, it can also just be like, I don't see someone doing what I'm doing. So representation lacking. This is saying, look within and say, I love this though. I love what makes me different. Our totem today was a different type of plant. I showed you the rabutia, and I showed you the two sides of it, the spiny side and then all the flowers, right? We're all like that. Sometimes we only see the spines, but the other people, all they see is the flowers. So I want you to look at everything and just realize that the more you can love and accept yourself, the more you can reset what was into something like whatever it is that you really want to portray out there, people are going to start to see the lovely stuff. So in order to, you all ask me, well, not all of you, one of the most common questions when we're looking at tarot is, how can I find love? How can I find a relationship? All I saw in the weekly forecast was love. And this particular card is coming through to say, the more you love, the more you accept yourself, the more you know yourself, the more other people can do the same. And whatever was before, it's in the past now. So judge yourself less harshly, judge others less harshly, and open yourself up to receive. And that may require, like me, because I had a lot of spiritual lifetimes, to let go of this feeling that I have to be like a sacrificial sort of energy, like I have to give all of my time and energy. You don't. It's okay to receive. It's okay to put yourself first sometimes, especially if you're taking care of someone. So love is coming, but the self-love is important. Practicing what that actress did, looking in the mirror saying, I accept and celebrate all of this, and it's beautiful. It's different, and different is beautiful. If it was all the same, it would just be vanilla. We need chocolate, pistachio, all the other flavors out there to add a little bit of sort of like excitement to life, right? All right, so that's what it is. You're more than plain vanilla. You're something special, all right? All right, so those are the messages here. And also, change is coming from someone else. Partnership, opportunity, different outside perspective could be coming in and giving you a different way to look at something else. All right? We got some deep messages coming. Not that we don't always, but like particularly deep messages that came through today. All right, we're going to move to the next portion now, which is the special topic. Special topic today is the saguaro cactus, and it's basically how to thrive in any situation. I think because of that totem, that's why the messages are so multi-layered. So give me a moment here. I've got the deck already ready. And we're going to take a look here at the messages now in this Celtic Cross. This portion is evergreen or is timeless, and that means basically whenever you find yourself up against a wall and you wonder, how can I do this? What's going on? What should I do to thrive? You can come back to this portion of the reading, okay? How's everybody doing today? If you just joined, perfect timing. This is the special topic. Everything that you see will be available on replay. Welcome, everyone. Put my glasses on for this because this deck is a little bit smaller with the type. All right. Someone's saying something about being partial to Aquarians. I don't know about that. I actually am here to advocate for everybody. So I am not elitist when it comes to any sign. I really enjoy reading all 12. That's something that I like to encourage here, is that we don't sort of like stereotype or pull out any particular sign. We all have placements across the chart. And as a reader who actually looks at all 16 to 18 of my videos, I see more in common than I see different. So I'm not really partial to any sign. I'm here as a clear channel to help all of you navigate. And I think you can see that today. Okay, we got a bonus card. Okay. We'll pay attention to where it fell. That was really interesting. All right. Okay, we actually had one just flipped out here, so that's good. Thank you for all the love and support I see in the comments. It's the one time that I kind of slow down to look at it. If you enjoy what you see here, do me a favor and show some TLC on social media. Like, I always post stuff on Facebook and Instagram, or you can do it directly from YouTube, and that actually helps with my engagement. So let someone know. Say, hey, this guy's different. So share the love. Word of mouth is really important. So for all of you that are doing it here, give me some love on social media, and that will help too. All right, let's get back into the reading. Your catalyst for this particular topic, which is how to thrive. We have the animal card, and this is really interesting because to me, this is very close to what I would look at with the moon card, which is that sort of pull between instinct and training and expectations. The moon card, we'll see like a wolf or a coyote and then a domesticated dog. Basically, we see that tug of war between I've been trained and expected to do this. I'm supposed to show up this way, but I want to go here. I want to do this. It can also be our training kicking in the right way, which is saying, this triggers me and I want to say this, but I know better because of this, this, and this. So it's really less of a choice and it's more of a dance. Sometimes the animal side wins. Sometimes the sort of cognitive side wins. In this particular situation, it's instinct that's winning. So that's what we see here. There's a part of you that knows, I need to do this or I don't need to do this. I'm drawn to this or this is a waste of time. Focus on the instinct. Instinct in and of itself is like the most easily accessible form of intuition. It is what keeps us alive. This like the base part of the brain. It was there to kind of like help us through fight or flight. It's the reason that sometimes I can't control I can move my ears, but only if there's a noise in the background. Then all of a sudden they perk up. I'm like, oh, because we still have some muscles. Not everyone can use them, but just like my dog would do it, I can kind of do it. But we have those sort of like instincts and programmed things where it's sort of like, do this, don't do this, or you touch something hot and you move your hands so you don't hurt yourself. So some of these they feel mechanical, but they are kind of like trained. Trust some of that. It is there for a reason. And that big talk that I had about reincarnation, the way that the memories come through, it's often gut instinct. So you could meet someone and you could think, this is a new best friend, or this is going to be trouble. And I've had both of those sort of energies happen to me before, even to the point of hearing trouble in my ear. And that person ended up being trouble. So you have to trust the instinct. The instinct is the soul memory from the past, or it's sort of a pattern. And you can be educated by what that pattern's trying to teach you. All right, let's go into the main messages here and see what's going on. So again, I'm trying to help you thrive. So the first thing to do is to keep an open mind. We have the King of Wands, who I love. I love the King and Queen of Wands, two of my favorite court cards, as you know, because they are powerful, they are magical, they are unstoppable, but they're also stubborn sometimes, right? So the King of Wands is potentially the most stubborn card that there can be when he's in reverse. He can also be very rigid, saying like, this is the only way to do it, or I'm not open to a different perspective on this, or I'm not listening. La, 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 la. It's like cotton in the ears. So what I would love for you to do is, it's good to be headstrong in certain areas, particularly when there's something challenging, something important, something different that's coming through, and you think, you know what? Even though others don't get what I'm doing, I'm going to make this happen. When we look at like social justice and change and certain types of policy changes that have to happen in the world, one of the ways that this happens is someone has a vision and they keep sticking with that vision. But the best leaders would be more of a King of Wands upright, which is, I believe in this, but I need to tune it to the way that this person sees it or this person sees it. And so, listening to someone like Dr. Martin Luther King, he'll concede, he'll sort of say like, you may think this, but have you thought about this? Or, I have this dream and this idea, and it may take longer than we think, but it's worth fighting for, it's worth going towards. So if you're more inclusive, and he tried to include everybody that was listening, you can get, even Julius Caesar, right? Like friends, Roman countrymen or whatever, you want to put the whole group in. So the more inclusive you can be, the more open-minded you can be, the more effective you can be as a leader. So listen, at least concede to someone's alternate point of view or differing opinion. And when you're trying to argue with someone, not like argue, but like debate, one of the best things that you can say is, relate to them. Say, believe it or not, I used to think exactly as you did because of this, this, and this. And I heard your argument and it's really compelling. Actually, I believe this part of it, but I think you're missing something here. Listen to some of the research that I did. Let's have an honest conversation about it. And I'd be surprised if you don't have some questions in your head afterwards. I'm just asking you to listen because I was in the same court. That's so much more powerful than, I don't want to hear you, or you're silly, or don't listen. Like if you're just dismissive and saying that's crazy or you haven't done your work. Say, no, I understand. I even relate to this, but I can't ignore this. I can't ignore this. And this is what changed my mind. Build your argument. Listen, concede, but then build a case so that someone else can be behind what you're behind. That's how you can be a powerful leader. That's how you can thrive, even when other people are stubborn around you. Five of Cups on top of this. The Five of Cups is a frustrating card because a lot of times we are frustrated by the failure, by the lack of progress, by what didn't go right. Typically, and we can see the two cups, one on each side behind her. She's crying over the spilled water, spilled wine, spilled milk, whatever metaphor you want. And we see all the tears and all the little picture frames behind her. But it's all been about love and support. There's still love and support. Even if other people have been critical of you, someone's got your back. That's what this card is reminding you. And at the very least, you have to have your own back. If you don't believe in yourself, it's very hard for other people to show up and advocate for you. So all the self-love that we've been talking about today comes through in a really strong way with that card. Love and support yourself, even in the face of change and criticism. Even if you only have one or two people that are on your side, those are the ones to really lean on. And there's a lot more love coming through than failure. So love is the answer here. Love yourself. Share love and appreciation of the people that want to offer your support. Remember what I was talking about with the Saguaro cactus, that it has these sort of woody spines on the inside that we can't see. We all have a support team in our life. Nobody's an island. So lean on somebody. Look at the positive. Yes, go through something. This is a card of mourning. So sometimes we just have to cry that Someone said no when we asked them out. Someone shot down our idea. We didn't get to, the bid that we put on the house didn't go through. Life is full of both happy and sometimes disappointing pieces. We get to decide which ones are the punctuated ones. So don't focus too much on this. Let it inform your next movement, but then try to move in a different plane, in a different position. All right? At least plateau, but don't try to go lower. You need to elevate the energy a little bit. Most of you have the capacity to see the positive side, and that's what we see with the Nine of Cups in the deep past. So this is reminding us that you can attract more bees with honey than vinegar, or however that phrase goes. So your positivity is positively one of the best things that you have to offer. So it opens doors. Look at how she's sort of like gesturing to this, this sort of archway, and we see almost like a psychedelic imagery here, but it reminds me of something from like the 70s. But it's sort of saying like my optimism, my excitement, my enthusiasm, look at it. It really brings in something amazing. So we can't be there all the time. That would be exhausting. It's even on some levels not authentic. But when you can get back into that energy of what's possible, of engaging, of opening up, then this is what you get, which is other people that want to be a part of that because it's fun, because it's inviting. So see if you can get back into some of that inviting energy, and if not, surround yourself by someone that has some of that Nine of Cups energy. When upright, it's a really good card, and it's saying things will get better. They've been better before, they'll get better again. They can't always be top of the world, but like a roller coaster, ups and downs. What are you focusing on right now? That's what this card is asking. I'm going to pull it up so you can see it. This is the Three of Wands. The Three of Wands is reversed, and in the reverse state, the Three of Wands is saying, I, the universe, am giving you more than you might see. Why are you focusing on something else? Can't you see that the opportunity is all around you, that you are the source of it? I don't need to bring something to you. You are inviting it. You are creating it. And that's why we see this sort of like triangle or this frame around the person. You are framing up your perspective on the world. But believe it or not, with the Three of Wands, what you seek, it's already there. It's already coming in. Normally we would see ships coming into the shore. This one's actually putting you right above the water and saying, you're there. It's here. What do you want to do about it? Some of you might be freaked out by the fact that something manifested quickly, or you could be so focusing on something or someone else that you're missing what the universe is presenting. So let's say someone left your life, just like a breakup, and you're focusing on the hurt of that. Meanwhile, there's like a really good friend around there supporting you. There might be someone else who has their eye in your direction, but you're not receptive. So this is saying, heal thyself first, then open up and look around you. There is love. So those two cups, that could be a friend and that could be a future lover. This could be a parent. This could be a boss. There could be a bunch of different sort of like configurations of that, but love is there and opportunity is there. It's here. It's already here. You just have to kind of frame it up differently, like who you could be and what could be happening. All right. Now we have a partnership that's kind of interesting here that could be creating some challenges. So two of the same suit. Well, it's not two of the same suit. It's two different ones here. We've got Queen of Cups and King of Wands. So because they're a little differing, this is going to temper how this would be. So for those of you in a current relationship, the most challenging piece is the way that you communicate. So I'm kind of jumping ahead a little bit, but we'll do more of an expanded version of it in a moment. But one of you is very sort of demonstrative. You show your love through your actions. You show how you feel. You don't always say it, but you show it. The other person needs a little more validation. Even though we sometimes associate Queen of Swords with being communicative, the Queen of Cups in reverse is saying, I need you to communicate to me. I need you to not just show it to me, but also say, thank you, or I appreciate you, or I miss you. So validation. Your partner or you may be needing more of that validation. And partner can include coworker. So whether it's love, friend, or work, validation, communication, that's going to be super important. And differing styles. Showing isn't always the same as saying, And saying without having the sort of follow through that a Wands sort of character would have is not enough. You have to walk the walk and talk the talk. So you're going to have to bend a little bit out of your comfort zone. So if you're more communicative, be more demonstrative. If you're more demonstrative, be a little bit more communicative. So show it and say it. A little bit of both. Not as much of either as you used to do. Blend. The blending is the magic. And if you good relationships, you meet halfway. It's not about changing your partner. It's about bending a little bit like a willow tree. And that's what you're going to need to do this month, okay? All right. Or this period of time. I usually read a Celtic as a month, even though we're like special topics tend to go a little bit longer than the week. All right. The Princess of Swords, basically a page card here. Look at what she's got here. She has a little contract floating around. So, this contract is, for many of you, we talked about creating a contract and also breaking a contract. So you have the power to do both. So perhaps in our meditation today, I'll do a contract release. Yeah, I'll write it down so I don't forget. So let's do a contract release to help you get rid of the old and then maybe do something new with that, bring in something like manifest and release. So that's what you can do. You can say, I don't want this, I want this, I release this, I hold space for this. And then also, in general, speak up. We saw the Queen of Swords pop through earlier as well. And I like the page better because it's a little bit more receptive. So listen, digest, and then speak up, offer edits if you need to. The page is really good for that. So irrespective of your sign, you have a lot of capability right now to basically make things happen in the realm of communication. All right, so you got a bunch of interesting things here in this Celtic Cross. 2 cards stuck together here, and then this card touched these. So we're going to break this down. So here's how you're showing up. Pretty good, actually. And these cards came through earlier this week, too, so it's interesting that we're seeing a repeat here. But the 9 of Pentacles card is basically abundance, independence, sustainability. She came through reversed. Sometimes reversed, she can be unwilling or unable to accept help. So that's the only caution that I would have. You are on the right road to being able to take care of yourself. But if someone comes through, and I was guilty of this the other day, someone wanted to help me and I was like, I don't know how to say thank you. So just say thank you. If you're not used to people giving you help, say thanks. That sounds good. Let's do this. The other thing for many of you is it can be overwhelming to step into big shoes. The Emperor card in reverse can be like, how do I fill the footsteps of this person that I'm stepping into their role? Some of you, maybe it's like family, mom or dad, and you're trying to fill their role. Some of you, it could be a boss, or sometimes maybe just starting a new job and you think, I don't know if I can do this. You can do this. This card is absolutely capable. And this card is just saying, all right, I'm going to trust, I'm going to grow. There's still a little bit of growth with this, so this is a good opportunity. Don't underestimate yourself. Focus on what you can do to improve yourself. When either I get a King or Queen of Wands or an Emperor card or an Empress reversed, the bossiest of the bosses, if somebody doesn't want to listen to you, like talking louder, saying it more often doesn't make it sink in more. Think of our parents when they tried to like drill something into our head. That doesn't work. You got to change the way you're communicating. And so let people come to you, let them make mistakes, be a little bit more accessible. All of these things are going to be helpful in, again, thriving, even when someone is not being receptive to your actions or advice. So the energy of change flipped out and touched both the environment and hopes and fears. So let's look at them separately, and then we'll talk about the Tower card. So in the environment, we see 9 of Wands. 9 of Wands is a really interesting card to show up in the environment. For some of you, you're overcoming peer pressure. You're overcoming the sort of just general pressure in your life, and you're maybe getting past a really not so good cycle. So we see the person that's been pushed down by the 9 of Wands. Even though this card is upright and not reversed, we're seeing what happened before. What happened before was someone was pushy. 7 of Wands is pushy, but 9 of Wands can be pushy too. What's cool about it though is it is the quintessential survivor card. It's like a blade of grass that pops right back up after the dog walks on it. So you have this ability to bounce back. And this is your bounce back moment. There are still some tests, some trials, and some tribulations going on in the environment. And the fact that a Tower reversed also touched this is saying, all right, you are on the rebound. You are recovering. There is something around you that could try to push you back into a place you don't want to be. So avoid that trigger. That's the most important thing that I could say, because you are already nearly where you need to be and you're positioned to make a full comeback. Okay? So this is your comeback. This is a distraction or a test, and you're not going to succumb to that. It's more of just an environmental distraction. All right? Some of you might be in a job, relationship, or family where things are kind of a mess or falling apart or reorganizing. So you have to stand tall. That's what we see her doing here, and focus on what matters. This card typically carries with it a warning that you could have a lot of stress here. It can create migraines, it can create headaches, it can create a lack of concentration. So your challenge is, how do I stay focused during this period of movement? Hope, Spheres, and Opportunities tells you how. Have a good cry, have a good laugh, do something that's healing and fun for yourself. Let go a little bit, let people help. Let them in. Letting go is important, because until you are kind of like at a good space, you're going to have a hard time listening to or accepting something, including love. Because I don't think I've seen a reading where there's this many love cards in a long, long time. So love is knocking on the door, but you have to finish the rebound. You have to avoid the distraction. And also, love can come at an inconvenient time. There can be a lot going on in your life, and now this person or this partnership's coming in, and that's distracting too. So take care of you. Take care of yourself. Focus on your internal strength, and see where that brings you next, okay? Ultimately, guess what? You're going to thrive. We got the number one card that I would want to see for that, and it is the Star. But she was reversed. Why is she reversed? Because sometimes when we're right at that pinnacle of growth and breakthrough, we worry. We say, how will this person make it without me? Like if you're going to quit a job. What will happen if I am more popular than this person? Will we still be friends? Will they still love me? What if people criticize me and don't love who I truly am? Well, the truth of the matter is this star is going to shine one way or another, and that energy is going to come out there. It would be more powerful for you to own this shift or change or movement than to have it kind of like be rocky and eventually end up coming up right anyway. So control the dialogue, own your power and your decision and your situation, and other people will be right there behind you, okay? Don't mute your light, don't hold back is basically what we see with that. All right. Let's move to the expanded forecast. It takes a slightly different angle or flavor when I'm looking at a evergreen or timeless reading like this. So again, how to thrive is how I'm going to look at this. Like the cactus, how can we thrive in any situation? So we'll start off with your health message. And the health message feels like I've been talking about this a lot. Power and intention. The card was reversed. So some of you need to sharpen, focus, or embrace your power. Remember when I was talking earlier and I felt that pain in the solar plexus? And again, our solar plexus is right around here. So I was feeling a little bit of a needle or a knife in there. So for some of you, stepping into the power, owning who you are, all of that could be one of the more challenging pieces. And the sooner you can kind of be at ease with that, the better. And the lack of intention or maybe being too sort of scattered is going to be the other thing. Looking at Apollo in the background, just chilling out helps. So we need to be sort of at ease with who we are, what we can do, and what we're trying to do. If you can do that, my friends, you're going to be in a really good place. And this is in the health area. So the reason we want to have a healthy balance of power is Otherwise, it creates stress. I felt it in my stomach, but the rest of you could be manifesting in other places. So focus on saying what you need to say, doing what you need to do, or it can cause problems with digestion. It can cause headaches. It can go elsewhere in your body. If you don't know what you want and say what you want, other people don't know how to show up. So setting intentions will create healthier relationships across the board. Sort of quickly looking, and just a standard disclaimer as I'm looking at this, I'm looking at energetic trends that can cause reactions in the body. But if you're having anything going on in your body and you need help, talk to a doctor. Looking at the energy of things, here's a few things that I'm focusing on. First of all, we're going to go straight to where the most movement is happening. Some of you need to get out of an environment. Some of you might need some help, someone to lean on. So environmental energy seems like the biggest place where change can happen. This can also be a messy house. So clean up your house if you need to, clean up the relationships, or get out of this job or situation. Something in the environment needs an improvement. And then don't be afraid to show your true emotions, because this is fear and this is an emotional card. Don't be afraid to show your true self. So basically overcoming fear is a big piece of this, emotionally speaking. Let me see here. Just general emotions in general, because 5 of Cups can be mourning. Ace of Cups reverse can be sadness. Queen of Cups reverse can be depression. Feels like you need to kind of get something out, and you can't force it. You can't change it. You have to kind of move through it. And that's the way grief works. That's the way any sort of major emotion works, is you have to kind of process it. So the processing of emotions is actually the most important thing that I can see here for your general health and well-being. And that's what we're going to leave it at. All right, let's move on to your wealth card. We have the bear card in reverse. Interesting metaphor, because there's a bear market and a bull market, right? So the bear market is when things start to kind of hibernate a little bit, go in reverse. Some of you are a little bit bearish on the future when it comes to your own growth or your own life. When we're looking at just personal growth, I want you to be bullish. I want you to think of the possibilities, not to be too restrictive. So I would say opening up a little bit is going to be really key to your success. And then some of you might just need a little bit of a rest. So if you've been on that treadmill for a long time, bears to me indicate like hibernation as well. So give yourself that rest. We looked at the cards earlier and I saw the 4 of Swords reversed, right? I think it was for the block. So not getting enough rest can definitely create like the grumpy bear, and we don't want that. All right. Ultimately, this is also the mama bear, and in the suits, I would ascribe her the Queen of Pentacles. And I think if I were to read with one of my many favorite decks, but the Wildwood Tarot, I think that in Pentacles we have bears, and it makes sense. They're in a cave. It's earthy. Yeah. Anyway, so I see you being able to focus most on personal development, taking care of friends, family, children, and really maybe you might be a little more conservative with your energy, but you shouldn't, or your resources, but you shouldn't be limiting on your personal growth. So you can be fiscally conservative, but when it comes to your overall growth and potential, reach for the sky, reach for the star, basically, right? Because that's what we got here. And that's the basic energy with this. Let me see if there's anything else coming through for like money or wealth in general. It might be time to get out of something. This is a movement card. Some of you might be wanting to do your own work because the star is the quintessential entrepreneurial card that I could pull next to the Emperor or the Empress. And, there's a lot of cooks in the kitchen. We got a lot of different court cards coming through. The Emperor, the King of Wands, Queen of Cups, Page of Swords. To me, it's almost one too many bosses. So for some of you, you might need to kind of pull back a little bit or speak up a little bit. Make sure that your voice is being heard. All right? Because there's a lot of people going on here. And that's why I think the star energy is popping through. You may also be at a place where you are not allowed to push through the glass ceiling. So that's why you might have to go somewhere else. All right. Overall, I like what I see. If an offer is presented to you, but it doesn't have the integral pieces that you're looking for, like any relationship or any contract, ask for more. Get a counteroffer. Look for something else before you say yes. It has to be good enough for you. Moving from wealth to love, we have the horn here, which to me is a cornucopia, horn of plenty. And this is absolutely in connection and parity with all the messages of love. I feel like I got every partnership card that I could, except maybe the lovers. They all came through. So There is an abundance of love, relationship, and opportunity when it comes to people in your life. Let's break it down into the different scenarios so we can look at the different lenses, and let's look how you can thrive in each of these lenses. I always like to go back to the main topic. So for those in a relationship, how can you thrive? I actually already talked about it earlier. So I'm not going to recap everything, just going to say this. Meet your partner halfway, particularly in communication. Now, if you've been through a challenging time, I'll highlight the Five of Cups. It's to focus on both the good and the bad, but not just the bad. And sometimes in relationships, we can really put a big exclamation point on one mistake that someone did. We all make mistakes. You don't have to make like this sort of like mountain out of a molehill. Keep it in context is what I'm getting with this. You can invite someone in with the positivity. You can see the positive and celebrate where the growth can be. You can say what you need to say. So communication, power of positivity, reflection is going to be important here, and then meeting them halfway. I see a lot of growth and healing that can happen in relationships. Your outcome card is really good with the star, but it does mean a revelation. It does mean one partner is going to be taking a little bit more of the spotlight, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. You want to grow, and there are times where, just like that cactus, it'll grow in one part of the season, but maybe not the rest. So you've got to just sort of like be patient with that, okay? So let me see if there's anything else here. Don't push yourself. Don't feel like you have to be pushed into something. That's important. Let's see if there's anything else here. When it also comes to grumpiness, give someone space if they need it. Let them get their rest, or tell them like, you seem a little tired. Why don't we regroup tomorrow morning or something like that? I think these are the key things here. What is lacking from this is Ten of Swords or Justice Reverse. We do have a Tower card though. So the Tower shows me that if you push too hard or if they push too hard, things could fall apart here. Communication could break down. But it's very much in the periphery. It wasn't even part of the main spread. It's avoidable. For those of you that are looking for love this month, it's a good time for that, but what I see here for you is a reset that needs to happen. You need to clean up something in the environment. Some of you have just been through a challenging situation and you're on a little bit of a rebound. So give yourself time to rebound. And then, you have a lot of options in love. Queen of Cups, Princess of Swords, even just the Ace of Cups showing like this and many other options. The Emperor. The person that's coming through could be slightly older than you or could act a lot more mature, and that could kind of freak you out. But I think the most important thing is that the timing is inconvenient. So try to be flexible, remembering our totem today, the saguaro cactus, it can grow larger or smaller depending on how much resource, in the case of the cactus, water is available. So for you, you're going to have to kind of be more flexible. Flexibility is the name of the game when we're looking at all relationships. If you're single and happy, good. Because right now, I feel like some of you could be on the precipice of a move, a change of location, change of job. I feel like as soon as the move happens, that's when, or as soon as that pivotal shift happens, then this is when love comes in, or this is when a new opportunity comes in for you. So give yourself all the time that you need to kind of process those changes and embrace that growth. And you'll be surprised by what comes through with that. Okay? Let me see if there's anything else that we need to focus on here. I think that's these are the main pieces. The other thing here is the karmic connection, which I pretty much talked a lot about already. So if you're in love, chances are there's karmic baggage from the past. You've known this person before. If you're looking for love, you're attracting a karmic lesson. Someone's going to come through to teach you something. And even if you're not looking for love, karmic energy is around you. So when people say, I want to find my soulmate, soulmates are everywhere. Your dog, your mother, your sister, your brother, probably your ex-partner and your future partner. Be more specific. You want to say, I want to find positive karma. I want to look for friendship and partnership, not a teacher. I don't want to repeat old lessons. Help me remove extraneous karma so that I'm just attracting clean energy. That way, if you're meeting someone, it's because you had an amazing lifetime before and you just want to have some fun this lifetime as well. Get the good, clear, clean karma, okay? Because one way or another, I'm seeing karmic connections come through. So let's clean up our own lives and call in partners, not teachers. The last card that we'll be looking at here is Destiny. We have the book. showing like the book of life, but also alchemy is the card that's being highlighted here. Let's see if I can pull it the right way. So there we go. Alchemy. Alchemy is what we're doing here. We're deciding to change the outcome. We're deciding to embrace our magician energy and really infuse it with this feeling of I am, I can, I will, this sort of doing energy. So are you ready? Because you have a lot of potential right now to make some amazing changes happen. I hope you are. Okay. Let's see. We have one last card that I'll pull before we go into the meditation, and that is the big idea. It's a very special card in these timeless readings because this is like the single most important card that we could pull to that question, how to thrive. So let's see. How can you thrive in any situation? Patience. Don't rush. The Hanged Man reversed is rushing. The Hanged Man learns things through patience and through, I love that we see the halo or the nimbus behind his head. Again, patience pays off just as it did with Odin waiting to receive the secrets of the runes. So you're really close to getting what you're looking for. Don't rush out at the last minute. Trust that everything in your life has led you to this moment alone to shine. And you will get a synchronicity or a symbol of some sort that's going to show you now's the time to get off that tree, to make a step, to do what I need to do. Okay? So you're very, very close to a desired outcome. Be patient, look around. It may be right there. I think the most important thing is to be present and patient. Okay? And if you're those two things, you can thrive in any situation. So that was great advice. Okay. So we've been through the primary portions of the reading. We have two special pieces that are left, and then we'll wrap up for today. So what we're going to look at in just a moment is the final card, but we're going to meditate first. Before I do any of that, please, if you liked what you saw here, subscribe, opt into notifications so you don't miss anything, and join me on social media so you can get reminders when I go live. Thanks in advance. I know Dakota's been doing a great job. Thank you, Dakota, for thanking everyone that's done Super Chat, Super Stickers, or joined as a member. I'll say thank you at the very end here. All right, let's get this meditation going, and then we'll go into the final card. So I wrote down what we're going to do today. I'm sorry, not final card. Meditation first. I want to help you with a contract release. If you're trying to break a cycle, bad luck in relationships, bad luck with money, if you want to change your fortune or your luck, this is your meditation. We're going to do something powerful that I don't always do, which is contract release. And it opens you up for a big shift or a big change in your life. So stick around. You can spare 1 or 2 minutes to change your trajectory. I'm going to choose the instrument because we're shorter on time and I want to spend the time on this. So just trust in that I'll choose the right one. Close your eyes. Take a nice deep breath. On the exhale, I want you to just sort of sink into your chair, sink into the bed. If you happen to be walking or something like that, just pay attention. Don't. You can play this part later if you need to. Just listen to the words and you can kind of work through the words. But imagine, if you will, that there's a starry sky above you, that you see a single star shining brighter than others. As that star shines down on you, it hits you right in the heart space. And as this starlight comes into your heart, you can see all these beautiful rays of light shining in every direction as you emanate that same star-like energy. Because this really is your higher self coming through and showing you your own star quality. As you see your brilliance, your light, your potential, I want you to look at the things in your life that have made you doubt yourself. And if there's any one that you want to let go of, relationship-wise, pattern-wise, if they're going to stay in your life, maybe you're going to break the pattern. What I want you to do is to think about them and bless them with a little bit of their own light. See them in their own sort of starlight, and you can see them slightly differently now. They're not a protagonist or an antagonist. They're not right or wrong. They're just a person, and you're just a person, and you played out a role. So seeing them in this sort of universal energy, it's easier to let them go. So say, whomever it is, I release you. I release the patterns that we had, the lessons that you provided. Thank you for teaching me. I don't need the lesson anymore. And you are free to go about your life as I am free to. So my gift is freedom. As we release these bonds, these connections, these cords, I release you and I free us both. Take a few deep breaths. See that person fade into the light. And now I want you to focus on other things, maybe material or abstract things in your life. Have you had problems with money? Do you think you're blocked and you could actually have more abundance, even if you haven't had issues? See whatever it is that could potentially be bringing the block. For some of you, we're going to release the vow of poverty. For some of you, we're going to release the block around that I can only have this much. Think to yourself, I am a channel. I am a mortal channel that connects to the divine. I am ready to receive as much bounty and blessings as the universe wants to provide. I release limitations, spoken or unspoken, written or somehow implied in this life or in others. I release all of those sort of limits. They don't suit me anymore. I don't need them. I don't need to learn from them. Thank you for those past contracts and limitations. But as I breathe now like a dragon, I'm going to see light and fire basically take those contracts and burn them to ashes so that nothing but stardust or ashes remains. I don't need them anymore. Thank you, universe. I'm ready to receive love and abundance in the highest forms, which leads us to our last one, which is love. If you have had cyclical energy, maybe abusive relationships, maybe a lack of love, maybe blocks around what you want when you're looking at love, let's just see all of it start to fade. See that same sort of fiery energy coming out from all the rays of light, because you are a brilliant star shining. And it is going through and it's evaporating and it's burning through all of those blocks. And now all you can feel is this sense of enlightenment and power and gravity. You can pull things in. You are not waiting for something. You're actually actively pulling it into your life. So you release all of those feelings of being less than. So think to yourself, I'm more than enough. More than enough to call in any situation, and I won't second guess myself anymore. Hold on to all of these affirmative thoughts as I play the crystal pyramid, and then we are going to look at your final card. Take a few deep breaths and allow yourself now to just love and accept yourself. If you want to, just give yourself a hug too. Pat yourself on the back. Give yourself a massage on the shoulders. Give yourself some sort of indication that I love myself. You can also put your hands on your heart space and just receive all of the healing that has come to you. And now let's look at your final card. Whatever question remains unanswered, or for those of you that are just open to some sort of a message from the universe, open yourself up now and let's see what wants to come through. how's that for synchronicity, folks? We got the sun. Beautiful, beautiful. All right, so the sun is what? A star. And the sun is reversed, which is saying it's okay for me to focus on myself right now. It's not selfish for me to take care of my needs. I'm going to be okay. I'm going to see my way through the situation. As a yes, no, this is a yes. One note that I will say, though, is that for some of you, you may be underestimating the power of charisma. You might also be underestimating where the other person is. So tune into your needs, tune into their needs, and we do the dance basically this week and this month, which is meeting in the middle. But you are a powerful agent of your own change. You're going to pull in what needs to come in, and if it doesn't meet your expectations, keep on reaching. Look at how whoever designed this for Rachel True, look at the rays of light. They're like little hands reaching out. Can you see that? So, and we see the eye, the third eye kind of coming through saying, I see it, I believe it, I'm reaching out for it, I can get it. All right? So hold true to your vision. Don't underestimate your capacity. Meet halfway if you need to, but don't give up on what it is that you're looking for. All right? This is a card of birthing because the sun normally has a baby on it. So when it's reversed, it does say something's overdue. You need to let something go. Figuratively speaking, we're not talking about a baby here. So this could be holding on to a project too long, holding on to an idea too long, holding on to something longer than it needs to be. And this is saying, if not now, then it's not going to really have a chance to take root and to grow the way that it needs to. Okay? Brilliant collective. Maybe one of my favorites ever. I think this is a really great one. I always love the Halloween collective, but this one was kind of special. So thank you for being here and being present and making it a really amazing reading. Thanks to Dakota, who's doing, an amazing job here. Since it's just him, I do appreciate that. Thanks to all of you as well. Let's get into the gratitude portion here, since I'm in a thankful mood. All right, I'd like to take a moment to thank and welcome anybody that's brand new. I hope you enjoyed today's reading. I do it every Sunday. So if you like what you see and you want to be a part of this, come back every Sunday. And then check out my schedule on my main website. You can look at the pinned link from Dakota, and you'll see that all of my schedule's listed there. And I actually already put the readings for Pisces and Aquarius, the links, so you can set the reminders. All right, let's begin by saying thanks to any brand new members that joined today or within the last 12 hours or so. So let's see who's here. All right, so today it looks like Linda Burke joined. Thank you so much. Crystal Dawn, thank you for joining. Shelly Hansen. Lucy Rodriguez rejoining. Welcome back. Kayla Croy. Faya, I think it is. Welcome. Carly-Ann DeHart. And I think that's everybody from today or from the last 12 hours. So welcome to all of you. And because everyone else I remember from the other day. All right. Now for super stickers or super chat, I just want to give a shout out to anybody that was able to give back a little bit. Whether it was big or small, I appreciate it. Thank you. Kicking things off today is AB. Much appreciation for that. Michelle Buckoff, thank you. Sonette LaRue. Let's see. Tracy Shoemaker. Anna V, I'm just going to say thank you so much, or Anna V. Michelle Hamilton. Wendy Wright. Yvette Sanchez. Mother Misfit Tarot. Spirit Quadruple 11. Christina Ambrise. Liz Morrison. Maura Moss Daly. Let's see, Kai Verdandi, JD Ambut. Let's see, Sharon Udell, The Mad Monica 11, Mahima Lalit, Kakli. Let's see, Liliane Ribeiro, Anita Day. Let's see, Sheena Davis, Unstoppable. Jigyasa Anand, I think it is, or Anand, thank you. Ms. Optimistic, Amitabha 108. Let's see, Shayna, I think it is Shayna Willock, Julissa Garabe, Lucy Rodriguez, Elizabeth Perez Oliveri, Nina Early, let's see here, Melissa P, Cheryl Roth, Phoebe, with many other names after it. Thank you, Phoebe Alona. I'll stop it at that. Ali Stewart, Krista McKnight, Sarah George, Michelle DePoy, Suma Seal, Diane, Allison, let's see, Hodier, I think it is. Thank you so much. And I see a couple last ones coming through. Judy is me, Ready Now, Kathis L, Deborah Deegan, I think it is. Stephanie Santiago, Hello, Kit Girl for Life, I think it is. Laura M. I don't know if I said you before, but some of these came through at the last minute. Allison, I did say thank you to. Thank you so much. Whether large or small, again, what it does help me do is do more of these readings, and I am in the process of launching a podcast, so I just want to say thank you so much. I hope I got everybody's name. If I missed anybody, I know that Dakota saw it, and I will see it all on replay. I do my best to kind of go through. Apologies for any mispronunciations as well. I do my best. Thank you so much, everybody. Have a fantastic week ahead. Looks like we kept right around on time today, so I appreciate it. Lots of love and light. Take care of yourselves. And I'll be back again tomorrow for Aquarius, and on Thursday for Pisces, and on Friday for a bonus reading. I haven't even put that one up on the main YouTube page yet, but I'll list that out later. All right, everybody. Take care of yourselves. I hope you're as peaceful and resting as little Apollo is in the background. Take care. Bye-bye.